Hi again YouTube, SickGuy187 here. Got another review for you. I didn't actually preview this item at all before. I mentioned it a couple of times. This is the item that destroyed my weapons target. And without further ado, before I further ado this again, without further ado, this is the United Cutlery M48 Tactical Tomahawk. I will admit, I bought this thing actually locally. I paid more than anywhere else I found it. And I got the base model. There's different models. You can find ones that have paracord wrapped handles. I think there's a Ranger one that this is OD green. And it comes with a compass. I don't know how functional those are. I don't know how the paracord wrap is, any of that stuff, because I got the base model and paid a premium price for it. Because I'm smart that way. Anyways, let's get it out of its sheath. It's a 4-snap sheath, 4 little buttons. But the thing I'm not a huge fan of, when this sheath is on your belt, the only way to get this thing out is down. I would rather have a loop to actually slide my hawk into, so I just pull it up. So I don't particularly like this. I think SOG Fast Hawk has the same thing. I don't know about any of the cold steel tomahawks because I don't actually own any of them. I might purchase the Norse Hawk at some point. Yes, it's more of a weapon than an actual useful hawk, but I want it. So what is this thing? Well, it's like 15 inches from the bottom of the handle all the way to, I think, the tip. As you can tell, I've done some modifications to it. I'll go into that in a second. So let's see, this thing's blade's like, what, 6 inches, 8 inches? I think they say it's 6 inches. It's supposed to be AUS 6 steel, and it doesn't actually say, it says stainless, so I would assume AUS 6 because it's fairly cheap steel. But I think I've also seen someone put it on Amazon.com with like 2 CR13 steel. It's a stainless steel. It's not a high carbon, it's a fairly cheap stainless steel. And when it comes, it's double ground, saber grind, Scandinavian grind, whatever you want to call it. You know, this one angle and then the blade's another one. The blade comes in at, I think it's like 25 degrees. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This thing does not have its original angle at all. I've beat the crap out of this thing over the past 18, 19 months, just doing weapons work with it, pounding into, you know, solid pieces of oak, pressure treated lumber, in one case a cinder block just to see if I could, and yeah, so it basically destroyed the original edge. I got a tiny little bit down here on the beard. That's almost original edge. It's not sharp. Don't do this. This is really stupid. I should stop doing that. It's not sharp when it comes. Like, it's not going to cut paper. And this is after I've sharpened it. Even then, it doesn't really cut paper. It tears paper. I mean, the points are kind of nice and wicked, but it's not sharp. Not knife sharp, I should say. It comes fairly sharp, but it's not knife sharp. Like, you're not going to be slicing paper with it, or I think Lynn Thompson from Cold Steel tells you to keep your tomahawks knife sharp, so if you get them near a guy's neck, you can open them up. This doesn't come that sharp, and honestly, getting it that sharp is going to take me a little while. I might have to get a work sharp to get the angle right, because working this thing on my Arkansas whetstone, I'm taking off a lot of material to try and get it to a really nice sharp edge that I can still use it as a utility tool, but use it as a weapon, which to me is what its original intent was. But yeah, ramble. The handle's like 30% reinforced fiberglass, otherwise it's that polypropylene stuff everyone likes using. And the way the head is set, so let's see if I get nice and close and show you without getting blurry. This handle is actually split a little bit and it's wedged as well as bolted in place. So it's actually, the blade tapers down a tiny little bit, but this, when you take this head off, for whatever reason you've ever wanted to do that, the handle itself kind of compresses back inward a little bit. This stuff, it's really, really strong. In doing some of the work with the back end of it, when I was hitting the target, okay, when I was first getting used to it, I would overstrike all the time. I would hit here, and you can probably, moving close again, you can probably see some dings and dents from overstrike. Those were almost full force one-handed swings, and they didn't break the handle at all. And it was winter time. And even just in rotating the head, I just pricked myself with the beard, so be very careful with this. For those of you who have seen my profile picture, one with big hairy guy holding a spear, Google Plus, stuff like that, go to my YouTube page, you'll see it. I had this on my belt for Halloween with electrical tape over top of the blade to have it safe, so I could actually wear it to work. I sat down, this thing was on a loop on my belt, I sat down and the beard just pricked me, and it went in quite deep into my hand. Yeah, I wouldn't have real blood that time. But yeah, anyways, getting back to the actual tool itself. They coated it in Tactical black again. I don't think it's that electro deposit coating. I don't think it's powder coating or anything like that, because a couple of times after I've worked on the strike target, I put tape on there for actual targeting, and the tape residue was on here. I took goof off, and just to take the tape, random piece of foam just fell down. It was afraid I was going to use it as a target. Anyways, to take the tape off, and the black paint started to come off too. So, you know, you could probably strip it really easily if you don't like this black and you just want a nice shiny hawk head. I might do that at some point when this gets really, really bad. Obviously in whacking and some of my sharpening, I've taken off a bit of the black just to grinding it too. When it comes, it's really slippery. It's got built-in little ridges, just like the, not quite as aggressive as the cold steel gladius, but they're little indents. I don't know if you guys can see them. Hopefully you can. I originally had wrapped this in hockey tape, but even then, of course all the weight is on the head. The hockey tape wouldn't catch the ridges enough, my hand wasn't grippy enough, so I went and picked up some Wilson wrap. Same thing I used for the Gunstock War Club, same thing I used for the Indian Ball-Headed War Club, who, by the way, I finally named. Gunstock War Club has a name too. Most of these have names. Yes, I'm crazy. I name my knives and stuff. In case you're wondering, Hawk and the little United Cutlery undercover fighter is known as Dove. I bought them together. Yes, I'm a dork. Feel free to comment. Anyways. And in fact, I think these are actually made out of the same steel. What is this? Stainless steel Aus 6. So yeah, Aus 6 and Aus 6. I'll do this knife. I've got a self-defense series that I'll do in the future. I'll probably try and do for some of those knives 2 at a time. Either because they work together or because they're so similar in their overall design. Why not? I'll do it for some of the folders too. Anyways, back to this. Wilson wrap gives it a really nice grip. When you are hitting something very hard, even if you're doing a slice or a chop, this thing, the shock travels through your hand fairly well. And I was starting to feel pain in my wrist. These are starting to rattle and take them off. So the Wilson wrap actually helps with that. I went with the super squishy, grippy stuff rather than, you know, moisture free. It doesn't have this pommel bottom, so your hand can still slide a little bit. So I just like in hockey, I took some hockey tape, wrapped it up, put it at the bottom, So, you know, there's actually something to stop it. I also put a bit of a wrap about here. This is actually part of the handle. It's, you know, almost like a pommel stop. It's kind of like a choil on a knife, I guess, for if you wanted to choke up for in-close tactical work, or if you just needed to do finer stuff. I put the tape underneath it. It gives me a little bit better grip, the one finger, and then I wrap underneath it. And then I'm a little bit happier rather than being up a little bit higher. You can hold it at the bottom and it's perfectly fine. You can choke up a little bit and it's a little bit better for finer work. And yes, you can go in close if you want to punch with it, slash with it, stab downward with it. You can even do the spike if you're in a self-defense situation, but don't put your finger over the top. I find it slips, put it underneath. But again, be really damn careful with that beard, because it's so close to just slicing open your wrist that I don't actually recommend it, but you can do it. Things like 2 pounds, obviously you can tell it's got a lanyard on it. I went with a fixed lanyard rather than shock cord because I couldn't find any shock cord. I kind of went for max length to be up here. It does make it feel a little more secure, but it's not really necessary. It's also handy to hang off my wall. Yeah. Do I like this thing? Yeah, actually I do. It's tactical, but whatever. It's actually quite good for self-defense. The top of it is fairly pointy, not super pointy, not as bad as the beard here, but you can do a forward up to someone's face if they're in too close and you need to move in. So it's kind of nice that way. You know, belly shot if you wanted to. The beard, someone once told me that the beard is for getting into someone's throat and tearing it out. I think it was originally for hooking and stuff like that. This one just happens to be sharp enough that you could get into someone's throat and probably tear it out if you needed to. Do it on a piece of paper that doesn't wobble. So, but I mean, all in all, it's really rather nice. The spike end was actually what destroyed that target of mine, which is why I have the new target, which is sitting over here. I buried it into the middle of the oak target and then went for a dagger strike, because hawk and dagger, why not? And then once I struck with the dagger and pulled the hawk out and reversed it, the whole thing fell apart. Completely destroyed. It was really nice. So yeah. This thing splits wood just fine. It's not absolutely fantastic at it. Let's do a quick demo with some wood. Grab the wood first. I mean, chopping, okay, it's fine at chopping. It's really loud, so I'm going to stop doing that because it's probably irritating you guys on that end of the camera. This wood's obviously for furniture and stuff like that, so it's actually quite strong. It doesn't split the wood very well. There's not a lot of weight to the head compared to like a, say, Fister's splitting hatchet or something like that. So it doesn't actually split the wood too well. Yeah, I almost tripped on my stand there. But you could use it in the situation if you really needed to. It's not going to process big trees or anything like that. It's not really for that. Like I said, it's more tactical than anything else. You could use it in a survival situation if the world does end and the zombies do show up or whatever actually happens. This will be on my belt because I will need an axe at some point, and this will work. You know, take it 20 minutes to get through a good tree, and processing wood, I'll probably still use it for that. But it's a weapon first and foremost, as far as I can tell. I mean, why else would you call it the M48 Tactical Tomahawk? Not to mention there's the United Cutlery little tactical skull thing here. Yeah, they went for tactical, so that's why I bought it. I honestly have no idea what I have against tropical fruit and nuts. I like these, they simulate heads really well. I'm not going to hack at it like this. I'm going to show you guys the spike. I did the quick demonstration with the actual axe head. You've all seen an axe head before. Let's do the spike. Oh, and yes, I do know Zombie Go Boom did this before, and they've got the, you know, blood-filled heads and stuff like that. This is stronger than a skull, and I'm probably going to bury it into this piece of wood, which is fine. But let's see. If there's anything left over, like half a coconut, then I'll hit it with the other side. But yeah. Get those little pieces of paper out of the way. And yes, once again, I'll be eating the coconut afterwards. Girlfriend loves coconut. Wow. Split it. Hit it on the side of it. Let's see. Nice. Okay, well, yeah, white matter instead of gray matter, which, go ahead, make a joke. But it worked. Went right in, split it, nicely open. This coconut shall not harm anyone in the future. Let that be a warning to all other coconuts. Yes, I'm crazy, it's fun. It's easier to get the coconut out if it's in multiple pieces. But yeah. I'm going to be sweeping up coconut for a while. Oh, this is fun. Now, I haven't actually thrown this thing, so I can't really tell you how it is throwing. The lanyard, I'll probably have to take it off when I do throw it. The only reason I haven't thrown it is, this is where I work out. It's not very big. It's barely one rotation of a hawk this size, and I don't actually have a lot of space to throw it in here, not to mention if I put it through something like this. I'll throw it when I get out to the farm. I'm not very good at throwing axes. I'm much better at knives, but yeah, I'll have to get used to it first. Obviously, that spike is pretty wicked. The blade is nice. It handles a coconut just fine, handle people just as easily. You'll probably want to wrap it up. If you get one of the other paracord wrapped ones, or if you've already bought it, let me know how you like that paracord. To me, it seems like it might slide off, even though they start up here and then they loop it through at the bottom. But yeah, I like this. I'll probably, like I said, pick up the Cold Steel Norse Hawk, so I've got another hawk to compare it to. Right now, all I've really got are camping axes, and they're axes, not weapons. This is a weapon, not really a camp tool. So, as a weapon, I highly, highly recommend it. As a camp tool, it'll do. Emergency situation, yeah, okay, this thing is coming with me. Especially if I go, to a place where coconuts are in abundance and I need to take care of them before they kill my family. Anyways, do I recommend it? Yeah. Final thoughts on this thing. I mean, it's tactical. The drill outs and everything here, they lighten the head a little bit. I am worried that if I strike on something that's really, really hard, I might get a fracture in this steel, and then this thing's basically gone. I'm also worried that if this handle ever breaks, I don't know if United Cutlery sells replacement handles for it. I also don't know their warranty on stuff like this. I've tried to contact them in the past with some of the issues I've had with some of their personal defense knives and stuff like that, and I've gotten nowhere. So, yeah, just some odd grind angles and quality control issues. But yeah, this in and of itself is cool. I don't like the sheath. Like I said, you know, the only real way to get it out is down. And one thing I didn't mention, this damn thing is really tight. Really, really tight. And this is without the Hawk in it. This needs to be a little bit looser, like give it a little more material, UC, because getting this on my belt is damn near impossible. And when I'm out in the bush, I actually don't put it on my regular belt on my pants, because if I'm carrying around a machete or a big knife in the Hawk, and I've got, you know, emergency first aid kit, my canteen, stuff like that, if I'm not carrying a backpack, I'm carrying it on my belt. That's like 20 pounds. So I've actually gotten into the habit of bringing along a tactical web belt, which spreads the weight out a little bit, and then I just put it over my shirt or over top of whatever I'm wearing, put my jacket on over top of that, we'll go. But this I don't like. I actually wish it opened on the top, and you could pull the Hawk out, snug it back in, maybe an over top snap rather than something like this on the bottom. Just a few ideas. I mean, I'll probably make my own sheath for it at some point. But yeah. Yeah, like I said, I probably paid 50, 60 bucks for this thing. I was an idiot. But I bought the last one the store had, so that just goes to show you how popular this thing is. Like I said, you can get it at, it's 40 something bucks at Amazon.ca. I think it's a lot cheaper at Amazon.com. It's $54 at Knife Zone. I actually say go through them, because they're a lot easier to deal with, especially if you have a quality control issue. Because yeah, getting a hold of United Cutlery, you're not. Unless you know someone on the company, you're not getting a hold of them. But yeah, United Cutlery M48 Tactical Tomahawk, the black version with no paracord. I'd say go ahead and get it if you're into this kind of thing. It's a little heavy for machete work, for long knife work, but you do get used to it really quickly. And I mean, no, I'm probably not going to pair with this, but this just happens to be what I'm carrying right now. For a Hawk and knife combo, this thing works just fine. You know, you might as well go for something that you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with this, go for it. If you prefer cold steels, Rifleman's Hawk, Spike Hawk, Norse Hawk, Hawk, go for that. You can replace their handles. I don't think I can replace this. If this does break, I'll probably look into maybe getting an aluminum handle or aircraft grade, or making it out of something that's semi-resilient. Maybe I'll cast my own Santo. We'll see. Anyways, I keep burying it into the wood just for fun. M48 Tactical Tomahawk. I say go for it if you're interested. Thanks again for watching a random rambling and you know, death of more tropical fruit and nuts. Glad I could smash that one for you. Sorry I didn't do an actual smash like this in the Ball-Headed War Club video. I just built this thing a little while back, so I didn't actually have it then. Sorry. But yeah, you'll be able to see me use this for more fun stuff in the future. Thanks for watching my video, guys. I'm Stick Guy 187. Stay sharp.